Erev Tov, Ramat Aviv, Boker Tov, Santa Monica, and happy Mother's Day to everybody in between and around the world who's joining us today. You know, almost 2 months ago, many of us on the screen joined together for the first time to launch our Friends Indeed campaign webinar series. It was March 29th. And it was also America-Israel Friendship League's birthday, our 49th birthday. And we created these, sparkly little aprons to commemorate the day. And as you all know, ever since then, we've had to improvise. And all of us have had to improvise and sort of write a new script. So thanks, everybody, for being with us today. You know, over the last several weeks, we've enjoyed a short reprieve during our time together from our respective homes, streaming everything from opera to yoga to Zumba, acoustic guitar, sing-alongs. But we remember our origins and the fun that we had cooking together. So, backed by popular demand, are 3 special chefs today with some culinary surprises to treat Mom with on this special day. Chef Lamar Moore, Chef Golan Gurfinkel, and introducing from Hoda Sharon, Chef Gemma Manalese. There are a few dishes here that I have never heard of and have no idea what they're going to look like, smell like, or going to look like from your kitchen for those that you choose. But we're glad to have you here. I see Jason and Molly in Santa Monica with the great digs. And I see my friend Andy in Greensboro, North Carolina, even though he has a virtual screen of Jerusalem in the background. So don't let him fool you. Alicia has also been playing with her screen. So everybody's having fun, being creative, and we appreciate everybody being together. So I've got to start definitely with Lamar, because Lamar, since the last time we saw you, you are now famous in Las Vegas. So I know not everything that happens in Vegas actually stays in Vegas. Can you tell us why you're the big thing now? You're the new big thing in Las Vegas.
Sure. Since the last time we talked, I was announced as the winner of a Food Network show called Vegas Chef Prize Fight. So I'll be opening up a Southern steakhouse and a speakeasy in Vegas sometime soon once we get out of the pandemic. So it's some exciting time. So, I'm holding tight and doing things like this until we can get the okay to open back up.
Okay, well, we're like I said, we're all improvising, and we appreciate the fun that you brought on the last episode, and both you and Golan inspired me to let stop shaving, and we're just doing what we can. Exactly. It looks good. I want to let everyone know, for everyone on this call, whether you're on Zoom or on Facebook, we want to ask you to use your chat function. We're going to have a special contest. We're going to try this in real time. On my last trip, my colleagues, Holly and Ruby, introduced me to a culinary legend in Israel, Ruth Circus, and she agreed to give her recipe books to us. So if you want to win a free Ruth Circus recipe book, just chat now into your, send something, a sentence about your mom or someone else that you want to give the cookbook to. And afterwards, at the end of the webinar, we'll pick someone to win. So write something in, just something quick about your mom or someone else's mom that you'd like to send the book to. And we'll read some of the entries that come in over the course of the webinar, and then happy to send one off based on the magic that happens with our social media friends in Chicago. So, and also the best way to sort of share this moment is if you are on Facebook, to create a watch party. And with your watch party, other people will know. They'll be like, hey, 12 o'clock brunch and I'm nowhere on my present for my mom. So here's an opportunity to come up with something you can use. So turn on your watch party if you're on Facebook. If you're on Zoom, you can still send the link to others to join us in late as well, and we'll see what we'll come up with. So Lamar, what you got cooking for us today?
Today, actually one of my mom's favorites. I'm making Southern style grits with fried catfish and a soft egg on top. What's cool, I actually have some local grits here you probably can see. Yellow corn comes from Lafayette, Indiana. So for those of you who don't know that, corn in the Midwest is super, super huge. And I was granted some really, really good local grits. One of the things I like with the grits, I cooked them a little bit earlier because my mom, she doesn't like them loose or wet, for lack of a better word. So I already have some already done here. You probably can see. And then as we get closer to cooking up the catfish, I'm going to add some cheese and some butter to it and have some nice cheesy yellow grits over catfish.
Grits for brunch sounds like a nice Southern turned Midwestern corn mashup. And
stick to your ribs, man.
That's great. So thanks, Lamar, and you'll let us know. We'll check in with you over the course of our time together to see what's happening with the dish and also just what's happening in your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Last time we talked, I know you're very involved in the community and caring about people in your community and other chefs who are trying to support one another. So I want to come back and talk to you a little bit about that as well.
Sounds good.
Golan, how are things in Tel Aviv today?
It's a beautiful weather today. And we say, slightly going out from the quarantine. So I hope nobody will go back. And let me tell you about my dish today.
Please.
So I'm gonna make shawarma fish. It's one of my favorite dish in the restaurant, in the Dalal restaurant. And when we're talking about mothers, my mom really inspired me every day. And I grew up on the table eating okra and green beans. I was just a little boy sitting out there and, taking the chips from the okra. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use sea bass. You can see. I fillet it, everybody can, ask for their supply fillet. And then I'm going to bone it and take the skin off and cut it like a shawarma. Another thing, I cooked, you can see, washish, hummus, 1 minute. You can see it, 1 minute.
Yeah.
You see? So what's very important is that when you put it between your two fingers, it will smash. And you will feel that it's already cooked. And we're going to use cured lemon. You can see. This is what my mom makes. Cured lemon. And a chimichurri, Mediterranean chimichurri, I call it, with garlic and tomatoes, some parsley. So you can feel all the flavors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the shawarma as people know at the street, with the flavors and everything, and put it on the top of the cream of hummus without any cream. So you can use that at home, but I'm feeling very Mediterranean today. So I'm going to use I call it machte sheli, I don't know how you call it in English. So I'm going to use like this and smash it with a little bit of sesame paste. And it's going to be great. You will see at the end. I will bring you Mediterranean back to US.
Okay, so fish shawarma sounds good. And I want to talk to you about the origins of what inspired you to come up with fish shawarma. Sounds and hear about some of the special spices that are inside. But before, for those of you that are like in my family, believe that dessert is always you start with dessert and then you talk about everything after. Gemma, tell us a little bit about pavlova and where you learned about it and what you're going to cook up today.
Hello, everyone. I'm sharing a very easy dessert today. It's called pavlova. Actually, when I started making this, I was like having a guest in the house, and I don't know what to. I have no dessert for them, so I just did some meringue and I put some cream on it and some strawberries in it and some sauce. I didn't realize that it's called pavlova at that time. So it turns out so good. So since then, I started doing it every time, and it becomes a favorite in the family and with friends and with my clients too.
So I know you've had a journey in your culinary experience, both geographic as well as cultural. Can you share a little bit of it by way of introduction, where some of the inspirations for this dish and other dishes that you've created are from?
Actually, since I was 9 years old, I've been introduced to culinary I have these grandparents of mine who are, both of them are professional cook. So culinary introduced with me from childhood, actually. And some Filipino and Israeli cuisine also.
Okay, and I understand you're going to do 2 desserts today.
Yeah, I thought of surprising you with Israeli dessert, but I made it like Asian Malabi, my version of Asian Malabi. If you are familiar with Malabi dessert in Israel, so I made it like Asian version.
That's great. Okay, so people are going to have choices on desserts and choices for a main entree, or they're just going to be, stuffed and try everything, which is.
And the dessert is like 5 minutes. It's not. You won't make it for a long time. Like the Malabi, you can make it just for like 3 minutes.
Okay,
and
so we've got a 5-minute dessert and a 3-minute dessert.
And the pavlova is like, you need to do the meringue ahead of time, though.
Got it.
I'm going to show you later how to do everything, and I'm going to show you also my later the ingredients.
Okay, and just so you know, I'm getting wonderful notes from people, many about their mothers, which I'm enjoying seeing, and lots of happy Mother's Day greetings. So those of you that are watching this and just sort of kicking back and enjoying it, it's great. But let's look for a way to pay it forward to all the moms out there who many of whom have been cooking up great meals for us. And here's a great way to share back with them. So thanks for sharing. And some people are sharing about memories of their mothers as well, and recognizing they can't send the book, but that just talking about and remembering their mom today is also special and appropriate. So obviously, please feel free to kvel about your mom. What can I tell you? I mean, I will kvel about my mom as well, and everyone's invited to do that and make that really a part of our celebration today as well. So Lamar, I know when we first approached you about doing something on Mother's Day, and in some of the promotional materials, you were generous to share not only pictures of you and Mom, but also a little bit about how she's inspired some of your cooking. So kvel is a word that translates as sort of bragging. So how would she brag about her son today, cooking up in honor of all the mothers out there?
She would feel really good about it. I mean, my mom, especially on Mother's Day, I'm sure with a lot of us on Sundays, chefs don't have days off. So I'm always in the kitchen, giving back to others and cooking for others, and, taking what I learned from her and my grandmother. So she'd be very, very happy that I'm doing what I'm doing now, and she's gotten used to it. I mean, I've been doing this now 20 years. So, she would be happy about it. I think she's watching anyway. So.
Oh, that's great. That's
Should be
great. To
happy
all
about
our
it.
friends in Chicago, thanks for joining us and thanks for bringing some of your warmth. How's the dish coming?
It's good. So actually, one of the things that I kind of took from my mother, so, in a restaurant, when we dredge or fry anything, we put it in the pan. And I remember growing up as a kid and seeing everything in a bag like this. And usually it was like a grocery bag and had the seasoned flour in there. So I'm going to pay homage to my mom. And if you're at home, get a Ziploc bag. So I got the catfish in here. And I'm going to do like what I always see them do in the kitchen. I got the seasons wrapped around the catfish. And one of the biggest things I try to get to let people know is, make sure you try to get all that excess flour off of there. And I got a really, really nice piece of local catfish here. And I'm going right in the fryer. That's going to fry up for about 10 to 12 minutes. The grits are coming along well. Another thing, again, nice and creamy in there. I add some butter. I'm going to add some cheese to that. So we'll let that hold. I'm going to fry off an egg just because I like to have eggs. My mom likes to have eggs too. And, again, this is, brunch, and you don't really think of eating fish for brunch in Chicago, but if you throw a piece of catfish on there, everyone's happy. So it's a good way to go. So we're almost there with plating this up.
Well, I know that you found a way of sticking an egg in the falafel waffle last time, and I expected no less that you'd find a way to stick an egg in this. Do you have a name? You have a name for this dish yet, or nothing? We need to get the marketing team working on that.
Man, hey, just catfish and grits with an egg on there, man. It was an excellent idea.
All right. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss recipe.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, so Golan, how's our Mediterranean fish doing?
He went back to the sea, but
I was concerned about that.
Okay, so I'm going to spy you a little bit with the flavors over here. So what I'm going to do, if people have been in Israel, in the small places of the shawarma, you have the purple onion, as you see, with a little bit of a spice we call sumac. In English, it's also sumac. So what I'm going to do now, it's a very simple recipe. 1 minute. I'm going to season it a little bit, like something like a teaspoon, and normal vinegar. And let it stand for 5 minutes like this. It will come on the top of the fish. After, we will seal it in very hot pan. Okay? The hummus is already, you can see, I already used it. Please feel free to use the Magimix, the Vitamix. I don't know. I don't know. Every time I do something for television or something live, I love to use it. So at the end, what we're going to do on the top of the shawarma, we will. You remember this one that I did a Mediterranean chimichurri with a little bit of half a garlic, half of tomato. I never used the peel, so I did use small flour from the peel of the tomatoes, like when I was 15 in the hotels, if you remember. So I'm going to use olive oil to make my chimichurri. And inside I will put a teaspoon of cured lemon. And that's all. If you remember, I told you, I remember how I brought up this dish. So it was in my days when I was cycling. I was coming to the restaurant, everybody was, doing something, all of the cooks. One of them was cleaning the big fish. And every time you clean fish, you have some sides, leftovers. And sometimes we do something for the staff, sometimes we're doing something else. I took a little bit of that. I took a little bit of that. Some cumin, some curcumia, put everything together on the plancha, hot pan. I don't know, put it in pita, small pita, and started to eat it. It was so delicious, you know, when you're very hungry, it's so delicious. So then I have to, okay, this has to be at the restaurant. Let's make it a dish at the restaurant. So this is how, you know, it was born.
So Golan, in each of your stories about your dishes, they always strike me about you improvise with what you have in front of you. Have you found that there's one spice that you've had to live without, that you've had to come up with a new workaround for it, or have you been able to get during this period of quarantine? Have you been able to find what you need?
I found what I need. Really, it's no like if I tell you about the shawarma spices, it's something I made by myself. There is a shawarma spice in the market you can buy, but there is I think there is something wrong with me, that everything I can buy, if I can make it alone, I will do it by myself. It's like the Q lemon. It's like the couscous. You know, everybody sell couscous. You know, the small one, not the big one. So I was said, okay, let me try it. I will do it. If it's okay, then we will buy it. And at the end, you know, my staff is still talking about me every day because they're making, you know, 5-6 kilos every day by their home. And, you know, you have to open it and strain it again. I don't know, you know, I live what I see. This is my life. I think Lamar should recognize what I'm telling you now, but everything is going like this. If not, it's not fun.
All right. Well, having fun during a quarantine is, you know, that's our middle name, at least for the hour we're together. And we appreciate how cooks bring that spirit of fun into their work and our enjoyment and making it demystifying it a little bit. So Gemma, you've come up with these two desserts for us that are, you know, pretty quick to make. So tell us how it's coming along and what else you can share for people who are going to be making these dishes for the first time.
First of all, I want to say something to Chef Golan. Actually, I can relate with him with what he says. It's actually true. Even in our house, we make our own pizza. We don't buy. We make our own bread. We don't buy. We don't buy anything. Now we will start to make ice cream too soon. So,
all right, the DIY movement is officially launching on the webinar today. And I have, there's a beautiful note here from Gail in Detroit, who lives in Maid Aliyah and lives in Afula and also lives outside of Detroit, Michigan. As much there's a family on both sides of the ocean, is what I understand, and I think that the comment is about using WhatsApp to cook together once a week. So I know some families are already using the physical separation, and for many of us during Passover had this miracle this year of including many different family members in a live Seder and seeing how you could interact during this time. Gemma, tell us about the dessert dishes and where they're at now.
So I want to start making the pavlova. First of all, I want to introduce the ingredients. We have 6 ingredients all in all. We need 4 egg white in 4 eggs. It means half cup of egg whites, 1 cup of sugar. We have pinch of corn flour, pinch of salt, and teaspoon of lemon. So I will start to beat the egg white.
That looks like a pretty serious food processor there.
We're trying to show you guys how it looks.
I see Mother's Day massages are happening in real time as we are celebrating Mother's Day. So go crazy, guys.
And now I'm going to add the sugar gradually. When we were in New York, actually, we used to host some ambassadors or dignitaries from every part of the world. So I see to it that I serve something from their country. So once I had the ambassador of Australia came to our house, I made pavlova and she was so happy.
Very nice. I have to admit, I had never heard of pavlova before this, before your entree. So came up. So I hope people are going to try it.
Yeah. Now it's very easy. Very easy. I even sent the recipe.
Yes, we're going to, as a reminder, like last time, we're going to send everyone the recipes afterwards. And I saw someone earlier saying that they're going to re-forward them to their list.
By the way, I want to tell you something regarding meringue. There are two types of meringue. One is the regular meringue, and this is meringue for pavlova, which is, that's why we added lemon, corn flour, and salt. Because the meringue of pavlova is supposed to be like marshmallow in the middle. Supposed to be soft in the middle. Crunchy outside, but soft in the middle.
So Mindy was asking, beside egg, sugar, and corn flour, what the other ingredients?
The other ingredients are also, I put now the vanilla extract inside. That's it. We have 6 ingredients.
And Jason and Molly want to know about your mixer. What kind of mixer is that?
Oh, this is the 7 kilogram mixer from the KitchenAid. Because we bake bread. We never buy bread.
It's amazing how quiet it is. I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is quiet.
It's a professional KitchenAid mixer.
Okay, I think I'm gonna.
And I will wait for it until it becomes stiff, not dry, but just stiff. And I will form it into my desired form of meringue. Whatever they want, they can do a smaller one, they can do a bigger one, but I made a bigger one.
Okay, I think we'll move back.
Yes. So
and then we'll come back to you. You tell us how it's doing and the status on the second dessert as well. Is that okay, Gemma?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I will now make the cream and the sauce later.
Okay, great. So we'll check in with you in a few moments on the progress on that. Golan, I see you leaning into the mic. You got any updates for us there?
But no, I was just checking something. But yes, what I'm going to do now, I heated the pan. It has to be very, very hot. You can see already the fish with the onion and the shawarma spices, okay? And it will go as is. And you can hear this is the sound. And you can come back to me in a couple of minutes. Everything will be ready. And I'm using also an harissa.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay? At the end, it will be beautiful and
We need a
will
little
reach
kick
the
there.
flavor. Yes.
Sounds great. Okay, what you got going on Lamar? How's the progress?
Just got done frying up the catfish. You can see there.
That's not the tail.
It will look. What's that?
That's not the tail, right?
No, that's it. That's the middle part.
Okay. I'm just
So
keeping
frying up
on.
catfish. I got an egg going too. So nice and soft, and I hit it with Cajun seasoning. The grits are, you want them to stick, but not too heavy. You want them just kind of have that nice little drop to them. I already added the cheese in there, so I'm gonna let them sit a little bit more, and I'm pretty close to plating up. And kind of like Golan was talking about, we've been at home. So one of the things, and I'll send this recipe, is kind of a new addition. So this here I called like my one-all like herb oil. So I had a bunch of herbs just left over, some parsley, some oregano, thyme. And so I chopped it really, really well, threw some garlic in there, and I got some extra virgin olive oil, add a little bit of lemon, a little bit of salt. And so when I'm home, as I am a lot, I use for vegetables, I use for chicken, I use for fish, I use for steak, for potatoes. So this is like my one-stop oil when it doesn't go bad.
Wow,
I'm gonna put a little bit on top of there, get some flavor.
That looks super. Okay, let's see. Any of my live panelists have any questions that they want to ask in real time?
Yeah, Wayne, if I could come in for a second, I want to ask Lamar if there's a good substitute for catfish, especially for those of us that it might be off the menu for us, off the diet for us, but we still would go with other types of fish. Is there a good sub for that?
Ooh, absolutely. I mean, right now we're in halibut season. Halibut's really, really good. Cod is more sustainable because you can find it everywhere. Not too many people like tilapia, and I try to stay away from it. And you can even use salmon if you want. I mean, salmon, and I think especially where I come, I mean, we like salmon croquettes, or seared piece of salmon. So you can fry up salmon really, really nicely and use for that. But if I had a preference outside of catfish, man, halibut and cod, they're so interchangeable, nice and super flaky.
Great question, Andy. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. I'm going back to Gemma. Gemma, how are desserts coming?
So now we have the ready meringue. This is how it looks. I'm gonna form now the way I like to. Actually, when I started doing it, I just throw it out on the pan. So I just did like this.
Whoa.
I can make a small one too. Now it's ready.
I have a question for Gemma. Sorry, Gemma, to interrupt.
Yeah.
What other fruits? I've had pavlova with passion fruit. It was delicious. What other fruits would you recommend serving in addition to strawberries?
You can also use any berries, even frozen ones. You can use kiwi. Yes. But if you don't have any, sometimes we don't have strawberries and you want strawberries, you can use the frozen ones. Now, yeah. Now I'm going to put this to 150 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure how much is that in Fahrenheit. Probably like 250 or. Can you please check it for me? So this is 150 Celsius to be in the oven for an hour. I use turbo.
It's 300. It's 150 Celsius.
300. Thank you. So I'm going to show you the finished product that I made last night.
Wow, nice. Those are pretty big.
Yes, I made a big one because it was, you can keep it like for even for 2 weeks.
Gemma, do you store it in the fridge or out of the fridge?
Outside. You cannot store it in the fridge. And
Okay.
you need 50 minutes until an hour to bake it in the oven. And then do not open the oven.
So,
Otherwise, it will fall.
and a birdie whispered in my ear that is 302 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you with digital settings.
Yes, because we are using Celsius in Israel.
Yep. We have to translate quite a few things. Alicia, I think you had a question for Golan about his spices. And actually, we actually have a few. Why don't you go ahead?
Right. So I was just going to ask about what you put in the spice mix. I also see that people are asking about if you used the plain onions or pickled onions, but I'm more curious about your spice mix.
Okay, so my spices in the shawarma fish, I have, wow, I have to remember everything in English. So in a minute, it will be cumin a little bit. There is curcuma. There is tziporen, how do you say? Cloves of
Fennel seeds.
fennel seeds, a little bit, and salt. And that's all. And a little bit of paprika.
Nice.
About the onion, it's not pickled. I pickled myself. If you can see, I can already show you the dish if you're ready.
Yeah, Orly was asking about the onions and the pickled onions and the sumac. So show us and tell us what it looks like.
I can show you what it looks like. It looks like this. Okay, it's a purple onion with the sumac, a little bit of vinegar, lemon, and salt. That's it. And you don't have to cure it for a long time. It's only for 5 minutes. So then when you eat it, it's combined everything together with the shawarma and the fish, and it gives it a flavor of the Mediterranean and a bit of refreshness for all the dish. So I can show you right now, if you're already with me. So what I'm going to do, and take the hummus. You can buy regular hummus. You don't have to do all the process. I like it a little bit with grain, like this. Then the shawarma takes with the fish, it takes something like 2 minutes with the onion together. And I'm already take it to a little bit higher. Now, remember my chimichurri on the top of it, like this, with the olive oil, don't be afraid, with the cured lemon, and finish it with a little bit of onion. Some people don't like a lot of onion, so a little bit. And my favorite, harissa. And I will show you in a minute. Don't be afraid with the olive oil. Usually I put more olive oil, but it becomes like this.
Wow. And I agree. No one should ever be afraid of olive oil.
No.
That's a very good motto.
Especially if you're using a very good one. It's a very easy dish. Don't be afraid to buy, hummus paste. It's okay. You can heat it a little bit. And then with fish, every white fish, not sweet, salty fish. And, you can play with this. I believe that everyone, when they're doing something, should bring something to their own plate and not only to stick with the recipe. We'll show you again.
Chef Golan, I missed what the sauce was that he put on top. What was the sauce?
It's a Mediterranean chimichurri. It's parsley, and parsley, peeled tomatoes, half of a clove of garlic, and cured lemon, olive oil. That's it.
Thank you.
So Andy says he's having a Pavlovian response to this fish dish, and so is my our dog here, who senses something great is happening. So we're enjoying the creation. So we're getting ready to show the final dishes and what they look like for everyone. Lamar, you got something you could show us?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna touch back to what he's talking about too, with the olive oil. So I got some really good olive oil here too, and so my herb oil, that's what I'm using in there too. So to Golan's point, Chef Golan's point, I mean, his chimichurri is almost similar to what I have. If I add some more ingredients or red pepper flakes in there, I can get some shallots. So I got my plate ready here. Got my creamy grits. I'm gonna go on the bottom. Just a little dollop to the top. My catfish has been, as you can see, the steam, they're super hot and nice. I wish you guys could smell this. Got my catfish here, so we'll put 2 pieces on there, right on top. And then we cooked the egg already. So egg's nice and soft, sunny up, right on top of there. So same back to this herb oil. I mean, super delicious. And even if it sits at the top, you can give a good mix just to reform it, get it back together. It's almost broken. And I'm just gonna go just a little oil there and garnish with a little bit of green onion. And that is my catfish and grits. Uh-oh, egg fell off, it's all right.
Hey, Lamar, what's in your herb oil, please? I'm sorry, I think you may have rattled it off, but I missed it. Thank you.
Sure. So obviously that extra virgin olive oil, there is kosher salt, there's lemon juice, garlic, and white pepper. That's it, real simple. Oh, I'm sorry, and the herbs. So I had parsley left over, there was fresh thyme, oregano, and also basil in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There it is again.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Gemma, you have something you can show us or not quite yet on the last dish?
Yes, I'm just making the cream.
Okay.
And also, can I show you how to make also the sauce for the pavlova, the last sauce that I'm gonna
Oh,
garnish?
sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I have raspberry with sugar in it. I'll just put it in the pan and simmer it for like 3 minutes. And all I did is just like I strain it in a strainer, and the outcome is as smooth as this. Because raspberry has seeds in it, so I strain it on a strainer. I'm going to show you how to so this is how I do the outcome. I first put the strawberry inside, some strawberries. I do it layered by layer. A little bit of vanilla ice cream. And then another strawberries. A scoop of vanilla ice cream. and the lost strawberries.
Oh, beautiful.
Now we're ready for the sauce.
Now that's a dessert fit for mom. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Gemma. That looks fantastic.
And the Malabi is like you just mix everything together.
The Malabi, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you for that one in a moment. We'll look at all the dishes one more final time. I just want to acknowledge that again, while we're having fun here, those of you that have been on other webinars know that this is part of an effort that we call our Friends and Deeds campaign. And today, as we have in all the prior weeks, we announced that we're going to give a $500 food donation of Israeli foods and treats to vulnerable communities around the country and to frontline medical staff that are battling COVID-19. This week, we're actually sending our package out to where our headquarters is in New York City, the NYU Langone Medical Center in New York City. And we've been in contact with a senior nurse clinician there, Nancy Silver, who was hoping to join us but wasn't able to in real time. This is actually Nurse Appreciation Week, unrelated to COVID, but obviously yet another opportunity for us to recognize and express appreciation for the hard work that nurses and others on the front lines are doing. We wanted to give them a little break from their intense days with some treats from Israel, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to post. If you look on our social media postings and our website, you'll see some of the great medical staff around the country who have been sharing and receiving these with smirks behind their masks, opening up a bag of bamba or beastly in a little bit of a surprise from the regular routine. You know, a lot of what we've been doing here obviously has been virtual, but when we can, we've brought some actual food. And as I mentioned, even at the top of the show, that you know, our original plan was to stream this live from the markets in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv, and to introduce Ruth Circus not only by her recipe book, but also with some of her favorite restaurants and kitchens and chefs in Israel. And so I actually want to now make an announcement looking a little bit forward to the future. I can't announce a date, but we want to bring, because of all the love and goodwill that he's created in these two sessions, Chef Lamar Moore, we want to bring you to Israel to meet Golan, to sit with Gemma, to meet Ruth Circus, to meet our team, to smell the spices of Israel, not just over Zoom, but in person. And so we want everyone to know today we're announcing that we will be bringing Chef Lamar to Israel as soon as it's safe and it works with his schedule, and they let us take him away from Las Vegas or Chicago or wherever he is at the time. But we want you to experience Israel in the flesh and in with all of your senses. And so we're looking forward to that. I think Gemma is holding, is that a Chicago Champions t-shirt? We'll let you guys bring whatever bling you want. You can bring your apron. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing. We'll sort of count it down as soon as we know that you know, the airlines and the health conditions allow us to do it. But you never know what happens on these in this period of time. We could have all retreated. We didn't retreat. People were generous. So Lamar, what do you think about meeting Gemma and Golan in person in the coming year?
Oh, I'm super honored and super excited. I mean, I love being able. We talk about Israel with friends, and now you guys are my friends. So I'm super excited to cook, and I've never been to Israel, so I'm excited to cook with you guys, learn the culture, the food, the experience. Super honored and grateful, and can't wait till we do it.
That's awesome. And we're excited as well. We'll share the story, and as we build the story, as with all the rest of this, we all had to improvise a little bit. Let me give the chefs just one last opportunity to show their dishes, and then have a couple final announcements to make. We'll announce the winner of the Ruth Circus recipe books after we give our social media people an opportunity to write in as well over the coming hours. So we promise to post that. We appreciate everybody that's brought it in. Gemma, I'm going to start with our family tradition, dessert first. So show us and tell us about the Malabi dish and what you're showing us now. There was a question also that came in about the sauce that you put in on top of the pavlova. So maybe you could just briefly mention that as well.
Yes, the sauce is like raspberry, a frozen raspberry actually, and I put some tablespoon of sugar, and then I simmer it on the pan, and then I just took a strainer. You strain it to get rid of the seeds. By the way, you can also use passion fruit if you have in your grocery stores. Just take off the juice, and it's so beautiful. It's so colorful.
Great. And the Malabi, can you show us as well?
So this is the Malabi I just created today for 5 minutes. All I did is just I replaced this is no dairy. To those people who have a problem with dairy or lactose intolerance. Me too. So I created the Malabi with almond milk and coconut cream.
Nice.
I mix them together, a little sugar and rose water, of course, with corn flour, and you have it. And then I pour it in this, garnish. You can garnish in any choice that you want. You can put almonds, you can put cashew nuts. Actually, I put it in the recipe.
Gemma, you just won the audience award for the non-dairy, the dairy intolerant crowd. So thanks for that addition with the almond milk. Great idea. Golan, tell us about what we're smelling. Tell us about what Lamar is going to experience on a first-time trip into the Shuk. What's he going to experience? How are you going to keep him awake at night thinking about this culinary experience?
First of all, awake at night is not a problem in Tel Aviv when everything will go back to its natural places. Secondly, it's something very beautiful that I learned during the Zoom and the quarantine, how to reach up to the plate. You can see it like this because you have to go down. So anyway, what you're feeling is really the market, the Mediterranean, something you already, I think, felt at the last time we did with Zoom. The hummus for me and the pita is something very natural to Israel. And to combine two things together that you can eat with fork and warm bread or something like this, something salty. So it can be great. You smell a little bit the sea. It's very important when you doing something with fish. You don't have you don't overweight smell the sea. you have to, you know, the breeze is passing near you. So everything is warm, and the pickled onion that I made by myself, it's crunchy a little bit. And every time you take a bite, you feel something else, and you going for a trip. You know, I'm very excited to meet Lamar. I can see what he's doing, and was really a pleasure for me. And sorry, you know, I just opened our bakery 1 week ago for only deliveries, not the restaurant. So I'm very exciting after almost 2 months. So
great to hear. Great to hear. Thanks, Golan, and we're looking forward to creating this reunion and creating the program, which we'll do. I want to give an opportunity for Julie, who joined us in the very first session enthusiastically and has been joining us from her living room, but switched to the kitchen for this episode to express her appreciation, and just wanted to give her the opportunity to say a few words before I close out with our upcoming program and begin the next phase of this, which is, we'll call it the planning the road trip of Lamar.
Thank you, Wayne, and thank you to all the chefs. This was phenomenal. I don't know what to make first, but I guess I'll wait for the recipes. I want to wish a very happy Mother's Day to all mothers, to anyone, to who mothers, those who have had or have a mom. It's a special day, and this is a great way to celebrate. As Wayne said, I've been participating in these programs from the start, and like any parent who anticipates needs, the America-Israeli Friendship League has anticipated everything that we could possibly need on a Sunday morning to get us through this time. We've had Zumba, we've had yoga, we've had, of course, our first culinary event. We had Israeli music that I was blasting in the backyard a couple of weeks ago. It was great. Had a fabulous tour to Caesarea, that was a fascinating program. So today I honor my mother and my grandmothers who taught me loving and caring, and I feel very blessed for my 2 children who I'm nowhere near. They're in California. But I feel very blessed for them every day. And in honor of them, I'm offering my support to AIFL today, and I hope that you'll join me in continuing support for their fine work, for the work that they do for communities worldwide. It has been a great opportunity.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks for sharing that, and to everyone who joined us live, obviously with the chefs, Gregory in Virginia Beach, and Andy, even though your virtual background is deceptive here, we know where your heart is at the moment as well. On a final note, you know, we will send you all the recipes of all the wonderful chefs and the wonderful things they've created, and obviously begin to share details about the reunion tour, the non-virtual, when Golan and Gemma will be able to join in person and meet our team, Ruby and Tali in Israel, and we're really they're very much looking forward to preparing you for this and sharing it again with everybody, as we've done in other webinars. I do want to mention that this coming week, you've probably noticed we've been really exploding with ideas and different ways to connect friends, new friends and old friends. On Wednesday at noon, we'll be doing another special program that focuses on the unique contributions Israeli and American companies, pharmaceutical companies and medical companies are making right now in the race for the medication and vaccination to combat COVID-19 directly. You know, we try to mix it up a little bit between what the head needs and what the heart and the soul needs, and even what the tummy needs. So we'll be back also next Sunday with a program about the fashion industry in Israel, and in particular, how fashion is used as a mode of empowerment. So again, we're trying to create both diversity and exposure for many aspects of Israel friendship that are perhaps a little less known. If you just read the newspapers and other headlines, So we hope you'll continue to check in. A very, very warm appreciation to all the mothers out there for their tremendous contributions over time, and to the chefs who gave them a special gift today. We hope you'll be able to use it. We hope you'll all join with us on future episodes of this Friends and Deeds webinar series, and want to wish everybody a great end to the rest of their weekend. So thanks for joining us today. All the best.